Welcome to the court of the Edijester. And here we go with another in the continuing series of Who Are the BMA? Or it seems to become a series at this point. I couldn't help but take a look after receiving my copyright notice from Raphael and doing some work around what they're up to, that I thought I'd take a look at somebody else who happens to be part of the BMA, a lady called Emma Runswick, who, if you have a quick shufty round Twitter or the tinterwebs, you will find is quite the character. Now, Emma, who works at the BMA, has already pre-blocked me. No surprise there. As you can see, I'm blocked. But you can also see that Emma is a dyed-in-the-wool supporter of the trans lunacy, with the most up-to-date flag in her profile, obviously, and therefore able to assert an influence at the BMA that we might want to question. Now, other people have already done quite a bit of work about this individual, so I'm going to put lots of links downstairs in the Dubris for you. But become a warrior teacher, come and join us, and subscribe to if you can pay to subscribe, that'd be really great. I need to get the numbers up on my subscriptions so that I can keep going. Now, Emma's an interesting woman. She is an interesting woman. She's got a great story about herself, which was published in 2016, where she talks about her own life and how she came out at 13 and her parents were very supportive. This is great to hear. And that she was able to say to her parents, this is my girlfriend, and the parents were like, right, fine, get on with it. So she came from a very accepting family, which is great news to hear. And from that point forward, she's, I understand now, a happy lesbian woman, which is absolutely brilliant. And good luck to you, Emma. Unfortunately, Emma seems to have been caught by a particular brand of hard left politics, as can be seen by this article here in The Telegraph from the 15th of April, 2023. Emma Runswick, the Corbyn activist turned firebrand union leader who delights in the label militant. This is a hard left militant individual, and the work that she does at the BMA is obviously having a profound influence on what they're doing. So I thought it was worthwhile taking a look at some of the stuff she's done. Now, from that perspective, we've got me blocked on Twitter, as you can see. But we also have some very interesting stuff here on the Googles, but also from Rebecca Says No. So I've had a look on Google. You can have a search as well, see what you can find. But Rebecca Says No on July the 17th. And Rebecca, as you know, is a stalwart in producing great information and great content for us to engage with. And this is no exception. Dr. Emma Runswick, Deputy Chair of BMA, puberty blockers are not irreversible. When a child stops taking them, puberty starts again. Young people make bigger decisions about their health on a regular basis, accusing people against using puberty blockers of recycled homophobia. So that's what's going on here. So we've got this conversation here, for example, puberty blockers are not irreversible. They pause puberty. When a person stops taking them, puberty starts again. We know this is not true. Streeting understands that, stating that is safe for cisgender children. Cisgender children, and you know she's put the exclamation mark in cisgender to ensure that her post doesn't get censored. If you don't understand the medicine, maybe don't advocate for making it illegal. Young lady, this is not medicine, all right? It's not medicine, it's medical experimentation. And then Ian's replied at the bottom there, the pause has irreversible consequences. And as I stated, I do think it's outrageous. Children pre-puberty are given blockers with psychobabble in a vulnerable part of life. Thus still emphatically believe their use should be banned. Ideally, these decisions should be left to 21 or 25. I don't think you should be able to make the decision at all. But obviously, Emma's a fan of puberty blockers, as you can see from the post that she's posted here on the July the 16th, 2024. So we've then got others that she's posted. So here we go. Let's have a look at something else here from Emma. So after puberty, when blockers would be useless, she responds. Young people make bigger decisions about their health on a regular basis. There is no reason to prevent adults doing so except a belief that being trans is the worst possible outcome. There's no such thing, Emma. They're just confused kids, and you know it. That's the worst thing about it. You're using confused kids for your political ends. Vile. That's not what was said, as well you know, says Susie Q. If you don't, I suggest you intellectually out of your depth. No child should be making decisions that affect their development, sexuality, body, or mental health before the age of 21. You are groomer and disturbed at best. And then Emma comes in, and this is absolutely typical of this kind of neurotic activist behavior. You are against both abortion and birth before 21. Are you campaigning against surgery for gynecomastia and circumcision also? How about use of the most psychotropic medication in young people? Or is it that you prefer politicians to make decisions for under 21s? So suddenly it becomes for her an issue of overarching issues rather than just sticking with the one thing. Nobody's saying any of that, Emma. The simple fact of the matter is that puberty blockers are dangerous. I'll say it, and I'm quite happy to stand by it. We don't know enough about them, and I hopefully will never ever use them again. We can continue here again from the post here. Or is it that you really are only against people transitioning and that you are using recycled homophobia to accuse doctors and adult LGBTQ plus people of being groomers? Right, Emma, get this absolutely straight, okay? Homophobia has got nothing to do with the TQ plus. And the worst thing about it is you know that. But yet, because you are ideologically captured as opposed to medically competent, as far as I can see, though I'm quite happy to be proved wrong, that's not what you're doing. So what you're doing here is force-teaming the idea of homophobia with the LGBTQ plus, which has got nothing to do with gays and lesbians, by the way. It's purely a cultural and political movement that is not something that's to do with gays and lesbians. And then Susie Q's responded here with, there is no such thing as being born in the wrong body. Nobody can change sex. Absolutely nobody. Taking hormones and removing a penis does not make a man become a woman. And deep down, you know that. You are throwing women and girls under the bus for your own queer agenda. Well said, Susie Q. Absolutely tremendous response there. Absolutely tremendous response. And so spot on. Pure queer agenda here. So that was really interesting. Rebecca says no. I'm going to provide the links to this because Rebecca says no. Has done enormous work on this, and I would be happy if you go and see the work that she's done. And then she's got here the BMA Council's Deputy Chair, Emma Runswick. Trans women are not more of a threat to your daughter than cis women. What a load of rubbish. Trans women are men, Emma. It's a ridiculously stupid comment. I don't know why you made it. So what else have we got here? Well, this is interesting because Dr. Sarah Rutherford, hello Sarah, I hope you're well, is asking the question, is the council influenced by activists? Because Hannah Barnes is talking about the doctors' union, the BMA, and their motion to disavow caste. Alex then comes in and says, this is the deputy chair, often tweets trans women and women, and here chatting with, of all people, Webberley of Gender GP. Here she said in 2021, Emma Runswick, I've helped change the policy of my trade union at the BMA on demedicalised legal transition and ensure we back, in rhetoric for now, equal access to healthcare for trans youth. Not much, but a start. So there she is, pushing the absolute nonsense and lie of the trans child, which the new education guidance for keeping children safe in education has removed. It no longer exists. There are just gender questioning children who are unwell, Emma. There is no such thing as a trans child. I have regular arguments in the BMA with trans voters. Doctors can be bigots. Name them, Emma. I want to know who in the BMA are bigots. Emma, come out and tell us. Give us the names and we'll deal with those bigots for you. If they said anything bigoted, which I severely doubt, because you are a grievance mining, hard left, gender-addled grievance gerbil. That's what you are in my book. I'm happy to be proved wrong, but from what you're saying here, it looks like you are. And not only are you chatting with Webberley, it also appears that you are a friend of Adrian Harrop, who's an old character who got his bum kicked many years ago on the GC scene. Your contribution to the panel immediately preceding this motion was also excellent. LGBTQ medics like me are grateful for you and your work. You're a lesbian, Emma. Own it. Right? It's just absolutely extraordinary that she's fully in bed with some of the worst people we know in this particular scrap. And yet, there she is sitting in the BMA. The hell are the BMA playing at? Get rid of her. That's what I suggest. So that's Emma Runswick. I thought you might like a look at her. See that, seen as the BMA have got themselves in the, as we say, in the view of the public at the moment. Please do go and look at the work of Rebecca Says No. I've got a link downstairs and a link downstairs to other articles from Emma Runswick herself. So the work done by Rebecca Says No. That most important thing. Go and have a look at that because Rebecca's done great work on it. But we need to shine a spotlight on these people. And the BMA need to grow a pair and get these activists out of their ranks. Oh, but of course they won't, because the BMA is not a medical institution. It's just a bloody union filled with hard left lunatics like Emma Runswick, a lesbian who's happy to sacrifice gay men and women and children at the altar of the Church of Gender and in the name of men farting about with their fetish and their gusset fumbling. BMA?